Godeye is a new archer class that came out several weeks ago, and I finally got the chance to play it. I'm going to be honest with this one. This class has a combination of Wing Huster, Pontifex, and Llamas. It's easy to play, it has a lot of burst damage, it has escapes and mobility skill, but it also has a crowd control effect like stun. Basically, this class has everything. This is going to be the full Letitia class. For those who doesn't know what is a Letitia class, it's basically a premiums or a pay to win class, which means you cannot unlock this class normally in the game. With that being said, Godeye has 6 different damage skills, including concentrated shot, dodging shot, angelic bolt, scatter shot, flashing shot, and then we have angelic arrows. Concentrated shot is a single target damage skills. Every time you successfully hit the enemy with the skills, your character will receive a special stack called charred arrows. You need a charred arrow stack to activate either a tier 2 or a tier 3 skills, which is scatter shot and flashing shot for tier 2, and then we have angelic arrow for tier 3. Concentrated shot also has an attribute called piercing shot, which reduces the skill damage by half but convert the skill into AoE damage instead of single target damage. You don't get an extra charred arrow stack by hitting additional enemies. That is actually would have been so useful because you need a lot of stack to use tier 2 and tier 3 skills. Otherwise, I do not recommend unlocking these attributes because your main AoE damage will be angelic arrows. You will see what I mean when we get into Godeye combos later on. For our next skills, we have Scatter Shot. Scatter Shot is a single target damage skills. You need at least 1 stack of charred arrows to activate the skill, but the number of hit increases based on the number of charred arrow stack. So for example, Scatter Shot can hit up to 3 times per stack, meaning it will deal 6 lines of damage for having 2 stack, and then 9 lines of damage for having 3 stack, and so on. However, this only works if you're standing very close to the enemies. If you stand far away and activate Scatter Shot with 5 stack of charred arrows, it will look like this. Now, this is actually very useful since it allows your character to apply a debuff onto multiple enemies with an art attribute called Explosive, which lasts 20 seconds and it explodes when the enemy is hit by the angelic arrow skill, dealing damage up to 9 times. This art attribute is very strong for Scatter Shot because you only need 1 stack of charred arrow to apply the debuffs, which is very useful to save the rest of your stack and use it on the angelic arrow skills. Now, Blasting Shot is a little bit different. It does require 1 stack of charred arrow to activate the skills. However, it is a close range AoE damage skill that increases in damage and size of the explosion based on the number of stacks that you have, but it also pushes your character backward upon the explosion. You can actually prevent this from happening by activating one of the attributes called Control Recoil. This attribute will deactivate the knockback effects for the Blasting Shot. Angelic Arrow is the strongest skill for Godeye. It deals both single target damage and AoE damage in the straight lines, but it has a very long casting time. You can actually reduce this by activating the Swift Art attributes. This will decrease the casting time by 50%, but it also reduces the skill factor by 25%. Basically, you're training up your damage output for a quicker casting time. There is a solution for this. All you have to do is equip the common skill called Quickcast. You need at least level 5 to get 50% reduction in the casting time. This is the only solution if you want to avoid using Swift attributes for the Angelic Arrow skills. Angelic Bolt is an AoE damage skill that has a chance to stun an enemy for a very long time. It lasts 9 seconds if you max out the skills, but it also has a chance to generate charred arrow stacks. Dodging Shot is a mini damage mobility skill that allows your character to gain 1 additional charred arrow stacks upon its activation. Dodging Shot also has an attribute called Speedy. It increases the range of the mobilities in exchange for the damage effect. You definitely want to use this because the skill doesn't really do a lot of damage and it's primarily used to get charred arrow stack. And lastly, we have a very specific attribute for Godeye, and that is going to be Rapid Fires, which reduce all the Godeye skill cooldown, but it increased the SP cost by 100%. This is a huge trade-off because it allows your character to spam concentrated shot 24/7 to gain the charred arrow stack. I'm actually very surprised with Godeye Vaivora because it prevents the user from losing any of charred arrow stack at 25% chance after using either a scatter shot, flashing shot, or angelic arrows. Now, if you remember that Angelic Arrow only has 5-second cooldowns with rapid fire attributes, which means you can spam another Angelic Arrow, which is like one of the strongest Godeye skills. Okay, we got one more reset. Can we do it? Nice. Okay, that was a second reset. Imagine getting a third or a fourth reset. This thing is an absolute monster. For the Godeye skill builds, you want to max out Concentrated Shot, 1.2 Dodging Shot, max out Angelic Bolts, max out Angelic Arrows, and put the rest of your skill point into Scatter Shot. Do not waste your skill points on Blasting Shot. The skill is mainly focused on AoE damage, and you need a full stack of Charty Arrow to make it viable. For the attribute investment, the piercing shot from the concentrated shot is optional depending on what kind of content you're doing. Sometimes you want to turn on the attribute to gain additional AoE damage effects. However, most of the time you want to turn this attribute off to focus on single target damage. Keep in mind that you want to use tier 1 skill as a generator. This is because Angelic Arrow is doing so much damage already for both singles and AoE damage, so there's no point of using tier 1 skill as your main damage source. As for the dodging shot, you don't want to invest your attribute point into the enhanced version. This is because the skill no longer deals damage once you unlock the speedy attributes. It's pretty wasteful to invest your attribute point into the enhanced attribute. The main reason why we want to max out Angelic Bows is because the skill has a chance to generate charge arrow stacks and stun the target. The hitbox is pretty small, but we could fix that by using Falconer aiming shot, which increases the skill hitbox. I already covered the Angelic Arrow Swift attributes. You only need to turn this on if you don't have the Quickcast level 5, which gives your character 50% casting speed reductions. Otherwise, I would turn on the attributes until your character has access to high level Quickcast. As for the scatter shot, you definitely want to unlock the explosive attributes. This is basically a free damage whenever your character combo with Angelic Arrows. And lastly, we have rapid fire attributes. This attribute is pretty straightforward. It reduces all your Godeye skills cooldowns and increase the mana cost by 100%. Also, Godeye casting skill like concentrated shot, blasting shots, and Angelic Arrows are affected by Holy Flame Ichors. Each piece give about 5-second cooldowns to the casting skills, adding up to 20% in totals, which is why my concentrated shot is like 0.6 second cooldown instead of 0.8 seconds. The Ichors also boost the casting skill damage tremendously, so this is actually a huge win for the Godeye class. So the question is, how do you play Godeye? Godeye combo is pretty easy to understand. You want to spam concentrated shot, dodging shot, and Angelic Bows to gain enough charge arrow stack so you can use scatter shot and Angelic Arrow skills. Make sure to use scatter shot with 1 stack first, so this way you can apply explosive attribute onto the enemies. My personal favorite combo is going to be concentrated shot, scatter shot, Angelic Bows, concentrated shot again, dodging shot. After that, use concentrated shot again to gain enough stack to pop Angelic Arrow skills. Keep in mind that this combo only focuses on Godeyes. There are a lot of class combinations for Godeyes, but you will see a lot of players going for Godeyes, Falconers, and Pied Piper combination. This is the most optimized combos because Falconers provide your character aiming shot, which enhance the hitboxes for all your skills. This is where Angelic Bows will shine because hitbox is so small, it is very difficult to land any attack onto the target to generate extra charge arrow stacks. But with the aiming shot, you won't have any issue landing the attack. Aiming shot lasts about 60 seconds and it has 1 minute and 15 second cooldowns. You can use roots to reset your Falconer skills, including aiming shot. As weird as it may sound, you don't need any other skill from Falconers besides these two. Pied Piper will be the most interesting one. You only need 2 specific skills from tier 3. I cannot pronounce the skill name, so I'm gonna call it Skill A and Skill B. Skill A is a damage boost that lasts 10 seconds, but it also prevents your character from taking any damage up to 3 times. You also want to unlock the attribute below to increase the duration from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Skill B is similar to Skill A's, but it had a change of fails and reduced the Skill B effects by 50%, meaning the duration can go as low as 7 to 8 seconds, while the damage boost can go down from 100% to 50%. You do need to unlock a very specific attribute to use Skill B's. The combo is not any different than the one that was mentioned earlier. However, you do want to make sure to activate Pied Piper Skill A first before sending out Angelic Arrows. This also applies for Skill B as well. Also, Godeye Unlock box come with multiple items such as the weapon appearance, the hair accessory, the class costume, which only available when you switch to the class, the back decoration, and then we have the special titles.